What's up, y'all? Thanks for stopping by. Road Rager, the name of this week's episode of AEW Dynamite. They got Fight for the Fallen coming up and other events. But this was Road Rager. Let's get into it. First match, Cody beats QT Marshall. Hate that. In a strap match. Very brutal. Something that we, expect from that. That if QT Marshall wants to make a name off of Cody, it's not going to happen. Cody Rhodes wins by touching all four corners, all four posts in succession, wins the match. Now, no one left, huh? Well, maybe there's Hangman Page to face at Fight for the Fallen. In regards to Kenny Omega, he's in the ring. Dark Order's Evil Uno comes out and he wants his friend Hangman to be in the running for the title. But Hangman, they beat him up and proceed to lay a beat down on them. And we then see Hangman later come out and he meets Omega eye to eye. He actually goes in there and he makes sure that Evil Uno and his other friends, don't get the best of them. Don't have the best of them done to them, if that makes sense. Kenny Omega and the Elite to get the best of Dark Order. Okay. And he goes to Omega, they go eye to eye, but then Omega gets the old Limbertail, as JR would say, and runs out of there. So that's that, and we have yet to see whether or not it's going to be Omega and Hangman for that title. Now, coffin match, Darby and Ethan Page, and JR is uneasy about it as he interviews both men. They talk about their history. Ethan Page is pretty much saying that if it wasn't for him, Darby Allin wouldn't just be a footnote. He wouldn't even be nowhere near AEW. It was because of him he made Darby Allin, and Darby saying pretty much that I got everything done in a year that it took you 12 years to do. So a little bit of, getting under each other's skin, building up some more animosity towards their coffin match. The first for AEW. Now, a big rig by FTR on Jack Hager, and the Pinnacle win the trios match. It was FTR and Wardlow taking on Jack Hager and Santana and Ortiz. They got Conan in their corner, and in Pinnacle's corner, of course, is the legendary Tully Blanchard. And it looks like they were going to get another beatdown on Conan, but it wasn't to be done. It wasn't to be what do you call it? So because Santana and Ortiz come to his aid, and that was that. It was a pretty fun match. It was a good match. Not fun. I should say it was a very, very physical match. A very typical match of a multi-man type of match. I don't like the multi-man matches. A few of them I like, but oftentimes there's a lot of just chaos and too much getting in their want to get in their moves and want to get in their their finishers and their signatures and all that stuff, and you know what I mean. But FTR again win it for their team, and there you go. Now we got face off between MJF and Le Champion Chris Jericho, and then a fat fan, crashes into the ring and he gets his ass handed to him, and he's out of there as soon as he went in. And MJF is pretty much again saying, hey, you want another match with me? You got to go through the 5 labors of whatever he was saying, right? Because he again just saying that, okay, I saw what happened, what you did. You made when it came to Moxley had to beat all members of the the Inner Circle to face him for the title, right? Remember that? And then he wants to flip it on him, MJF, and says, okay, you got to beat 5 people of my choosing. It's definitely going to be his guys. I mean, who else is he going to choose, right? And then he goes, okay, you agree to it? All right. And then he goes, shake my hand. He's like emphatically saying, shake my hand to Jericho. Jericho shakes his hand, and then he doesn't let go, and then he connects with a Judas effect, that sick elbow, knocks MJF down and out. And that's that. They get in a little scuffle. Earlier we saw Sammy Guevara hit the chairman, if you will, Sean Spears with a chair shot. He got him last week and caused him to lose to MJF, so he got a little bit of payback. Did Sammy Guevara. Now, why is Reba still using the crutch? Oh, she got hurt, according to the doctor, Britt Baker. But she was doing that before, right? And then she wrestled. It's like she's gonna do like what Cowboy Bob Orton did, where he had that cast for 7 years in WWE. You know what I mean? And Britt Baker's taking some shots at WWE, and the thing about it though is that she has to realize that her man, Adam Cole, is still employed. WWE can take what she says and go, okay, you know what? We're gonna punish Adam Cole here because you want to open your mouth. I mean, she said something about taking a dig at WWE, talking about blood money, and they say, oh, you know what? Oh, maybe you could, to Tony Khan, maybe you could send us to Saudi Arabia. We all know the whole thing of the blood money. People saying that about WWE and their deal with the Saudis, and then they called it blood money. And like I said, Dr. Brett let her voice be heard, and even Reba and Tony Schiavone gave each other a look like, oh shoot, like not even just a look for aesthetics or for the skit. It's just basically they looked at each other like, oh, she went there, huh? Oops, oh shoot, like that. And I'm just thinking, it's true. I don't agree with WWE doing that. I can't stand watching those pay-per-views and seeing those people in the audience who could care less if they're there. That's why I don't watch it. So I just skip those pay-per-views. Any of the pay-per-views from Saudi, I don't watch them. That come from Saudi, I don't watch them. Now, El Idolo Andrade, the Idol Andrade versus Matt Sydal, and it was a match that I saw Matt Sydal prove what he's been doing all over the world, all over the indies and all that stuff. Is he's really improved a lot. He's won titles all over, and he really gave El Idolo Andrade a real run for his money. But in the end, he connects with the El Idolo DDT, and Andrade defeats Matt Sydal. So that's that. A very, 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 very competent debut for him. He went up against a guy who's going to give him something. He's not going to win, but, Matt Sydal, he's not. But, it's a good thing. And, they made him look strong. They made Andrade look strong. And who's going to be his next opponent? Is he going to be lined up for a title shot soon? Who knows? We'll see. I mean, we got two heels that are champions. He's a champion. I mean, he's a heel. So, I don't know if that's gonna happen. But then again, AEW does put heel against heel and babyface against face. Sometimes you don't care about who the opponents are. So we'll see. Now, Christian versus Matt Hardy, night 1 at Fighter Fest next week. And they talk about the history. They talk about the fact that Christian talks about how, regardless of how the matches were, how they were matched up, Matt Hardy always came up on the dead end. I mean, on the short. So we'll see what happens. But then again, I think I heard them saying that this is going to be the first time that they go face one-on-one, face to face. I'm not sure in WWE did they? They may have, but we're so used to them always clashing in tag team matches, so maybe it was only tag team matches, maybe. And for the longest time, these guys weren't solo artists, solo singers, solo competitors, so it's like, this could easily be the first time that they face each other, ever. But in AEW, definitely. And so they're going to face one-on-one, and that's going to be an interesting match. You got two legends, two long feuding guys. I think at one point they did team up and they were a babyface tag team in WWE, I believe so. But we'll see what happens in that match. Be interesting. Now, Arn Anderson is in the ring. Now, we saw this happen earlier where the lights go out. Nothing happened. This time he's in the ring with Tony. Lights go out for quite a bit. It goes on, and who but the former Aleister Black. He's standing there. He's got a makeup that looks like he's got a bruise, but he's got I don't know what it is, but he looks menacing. Even Excalibur says that 15 years ago I wrestled that guy as Tommy End. didn't know who his name was, right? And then Aleister Black does his black mass kick, and he or black mask, and he knocks Arn Anderson on his butt, knocks him out. In comes Cody. Cody's thinking, "Come on, you know what you're doing." And then he kind of backs off, does Black, but then he does another spin kick, connects with Cody, and Cody is down and out. And at first I thought that Alex Oliver said he was Alucard Black. I'm thinking, man, maybe it's a cool name, Dracula backwards, right? And then he says Malakai Black when he repeats himself. And I'm thinking, you didn't know who he was. I mean, at least you didn't know who his name was. And then all of a sudden, he pulls it out of his ass that he has his name, Malakai Black. I'm thinking, why don't you just let him be interviewed later on, maybe next week, and then he could say his name? Because that really, really shows how you guys just don't know how to keep anything a secret or keep anything anybody in suspense. It's just like, what's his name now? Oh, Malakai Black. How do you know that? Did somebody pass you a note? I mean, yeah, I get it, guys. I get it. You know, they know beforehand. They know that he got signed with the AEW. I know that. But if they're trying to present that they don't know who he is, how about you go along with it and don't even say his name yet? Then maybe later down on the program, oh, we just got the name of Tommy End. He's now Malakai Black. I don't even like that. I don't like that. Malakai is cool. Black, that's part of WWE. I mean, his name there. You would think that he'd want to get away from it, but I guess he has a good, you know, it comes together pretty well, you know. So who knows? We'll see. But he looks damn impressive, and I'm a big fan of his. I hated how WWE treated him in the main roster. He was unbeatable in NXT. He was a force, and they were actually building something with him, with the whole thing with the Dark Father and all that stuff, and then he just unceremoniously fire him and let him go. You know, at least he's employed with AEW, and at least his wife Zelina Vega or Thea Trinidad is you know, employed with WWE, so they're getting good paychecks, I guess. So I guess it works out, right? But it's good to see him. I about jumped out my seat, and I'm like, holy, you know what, shit. Well, I'll say it, man. It's pretty good to see who he. Maybe it's Cody. I guess it's Cody. Maybe that he's targeting, because Cody ain't gonna go and work with QT Marshall anymore. I guess. Because who cares? Him and the Factory, or who cares? They're garbage. Who cares about their faction? Now, Ricky Starks. He's so cringy, you know. He's in there, has security behind him because he doesn't want Brian Cage to attack him, and then Brian Cage comes out because, you know, Ricky Starks wants to say that he, you know, banged his wife, and you're gonna poke the bear like that with Brian Cage. Brian Cage comes out, and he wants to get to him, but unfortunately he wasn't able to. So we're gonna see that match for the FTW title. Who cares? It's not a real title. Who cares? It's like the King of the Ring crown in WWE, or the $1 million championship. Is anybody gonna really be behind those titles that don't even mean nothing? Now, mixed tag with the Bunny and the Blade versus Chris Statlander and Orange Cassidy. In the end, Statlander hits the Big Bang Theory on the Bunny, and the winners of this fun match. I had fun. I had a blast with this match. I love Chris Statlander and Orange Cassidy, and I think they are so much. Just to watch them together, the antics is really great, and then seeing the Bunny and the Blade trying to keep up and trying to figure out what to do, you know. But it was a good match. It was fun, like I said, and the orange one and the bizarre one from outer space, Miss Chris Statlander, are the victors, and I'm happy with that. Now, Jungle Boy, we see him being rewarded with a trophy for his 50 wins notched in AEW, the most out of any of the competitors in AEW. Pretty good. He got a trophy. You know, didn't look like much, but he got something. Okay, that's cool. They should have given him a commemorative belt or something. You know, something that he can hang up on his wall. He ain't gonna wear it to the ring, but you know, something. But hey, at least he got something. Whatever. But one of my wrestlers that that I say is one of my favorite wrestlers gets recognition like that. That's cool, you know. Now, in the ring. This guy named Dan Lambert, who runs the America's Top Team that trains MMA fighters and all that. He gets his ass handed to him by the Murder Hawk Monster because he's in there talking shit about AEW. AEW ain't nothing. It's garbage. I don't like it. I was invited here. You know, if I want, you know, why am I here? He's like really being a heel. And then in comes the Murder Hawk Monster. He definitely doesn't want to hear no more of that bullshit. And he delivers a blackout and puts his ass down. And the guy took it pretty well. So good on him. I guess if you're head of a training facility that trains MMA fighters, I guess you gotta be tough. I don't know. Or maybe he just knows how to take a hit. I guess. But where are you going to see the Murder Hawk go from here, man? Like, he needs some gold right now, man, because the guy is on it. He's always really performing. He's really performs well. He always delivers, but he hasn't won a championship. I don't know what AEW is doing, but they need to really pull the trigger and give him a gold. Tag team, I don't know. I know he's got some partners from Japan or partners from other places. You know, how about you bring somebody over that can complement him, and then they can go after the tag team gold. If they're not going to give him the singles gold, okay. I'd like to see him against Miro again. Now, Fyter Fest Night 1, they announced maybe all the matches or maybe some, but they did mention stuff. They said Matt Hardy and Christian Cage. The FTW titles on the line. Penelope Ford and Yuka Sakazaki. I've only seen her a few times, and I love what she does in the ring, so it'll be great to see her. Hangman Page will speak, so he may well speak about the title going after Kenny Omega, and I definitely can say that he's definitely going to take the title off of him. I'm saying it right now. Let's see what happens. The IWGP US title with Mox defending against Machine Gun Carl Anderson, and Carl Anderson's looking to take that belt and return it to Japan because he and Luke Gallows are going back to Japan. I guess they're not with Impact. I mean, they could be, but I heard that they left. So, you know, they had a lot of success there. It's where the Bullet Club was, was born. So let's see what happens. And then we have the main event with Penta and Eddie Kingston versus the Young Bucks in a street fight. And Alex Abrahamentes is a fool, and he's annoying as hell, dude. Like, he's trying too hard. Wasn't this guy an interviewer like a few months back, and then now he's hanging with Penta? Every time I see that guy, it's just like turn it off, and go away. Like, he's trying too hard to look cool that he's with Penta. This is like, he looks stupid. Like, he's trying too hard. It's not natural when you see him. But throughout this match, you know, the Bucks are relying too much on help from their friends. You know, you see Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson come out there and stuff like that. You see, what's his name? Old dummy Don Callis on commentary and stuff. And you know, he's relying on those guys to hold on to the gold. You know, and the numbers do, help when it comes to those guys, but it's like the dumb fucks. I mean, the Young Bucks retain their belts. You know, they put all these tacks in Blackheart's mouth and Eddie Kingston's mouth, and then they deliver a super kick, and they were able to pin him. How many times in this match they were gonna be defeated? You know, the Young Bucks, and again using help from their friends all the time. You know, I mean, that's what heels do. But getting gold, I mean, if anybody was going to get the title off, it would have been Mox and Eddie Kingston, but I don't know, man. But I would have liked to seen them instead of Eddie and Penta, but of course you got, you know, Mox is busy with preparing for his IWGP US title defense, so you know, we'll see that. But this man, you know, it was okay. It was decent. I liked it. You know, it is one of those things where these guys really are on a roll, and they're really, this is really a great way to introduce themselves back with a live audience. You know, It was popping. It was when Jericho came out singing this theme. When this theme song comes on, they're singing. It's great. You know, and my favorite moment, of course, was the Jericho MJF's face off. I think that's the best thing on this. I really enjoyed that. It was funny, and it was very very, like it was very personal too. And things were said, and let's see what Jericho has to do when he has to face five of MJF's choice opponents in order to get a match again. Once he wins that in concession, I guess the one night, maybe a gauntlet match, and then he's gonna face MJF. So we'll see. But that's my video for AEW Dynamite for the 7th of July 2021, and also we all know it's titled Road Rager, and they got a lot of events coming up, and we got Fight of the Fallen coming up, and the first night they mentioned, and I don't know if I don't think they mentioned two. I know there's a couple matches they did mention, but I guess they just wanted to show us what's going on. But I guess on night one they'll announce what's on night two. I guess that's gonna go like that. But anyway, that's my video, and for those of you who stopped by and checked it out, I appreciate it. And in closing, as always, take care.